The notification pinged at 11:47 p.m. while I sat in my garage, nursing a beer and staring at the half-finished kitchen cabinets I'd been building for 3 months. Sarah's Instagram post glowed on my phone screen, a selfie of her in some fancy hotel bathroom, lips pouty, cleavage strategically displayed. The caption read, "Single life looks good on me." Before we dive deeper into this story, I have one small request. Please subscribe, drop a like, comment, and hit that hype button to boost this channel so more people can discover these incredible Reddit stories. I stared at it for a full minute. Single life? We'd been married for 12 years. I scrolled through the comments, her girlfriends cheering her on, random guys dropping fire emojis. My thumb hovered over the keyboard. Then I typed, "Agreed," and hit send. Sarah had left Friday morning for what she called a girls' weekend in Chicago. Packed like she was moving out. 3 suitcases for 2 nights. I'd watched from the kitchen window as she loaded her BMW, talking animatedly on the phone. "Don't worry, Ty," I'd heard her say through the cracked window. "He's completely clueless. Thinks I'm with the girls." Ty. I knew that name. Tyler Brooks, her business partner at the real estate office. 28, fitness influencer on the side, the kind of guy who wore protein powder like cologne and called everyone bro. I'd met him at the company Christmas party, watched him eye-fuck my wife while shaking my hand. Now it all made sense. The late nights, the new lingerie, the way she'd started calling me boring during arguments. I finished my beer and walked back into our house. Our house that I'd been renovating for 2 years, turning this 1950s ranch into something beautiful. For her, for us. The house felt different now, emptier, like Sarah had already moved out in everything but name. I opened my laptop and did what any suspicious husband does in 2024. I checked our phone records. There it was. Hundreds of texts to Tyler's number over the past 3 months. I couldn't see the content, but the frequency told the whole story. Saturday morning, I drove to Chicago. I found them at some trendy rooftop bar in River North. Sarah wore a red dress I'd never seen, laughing at something Tyler said while he fed her strawberries. They looked like a couple celebrating an anniversary. I took pictures, lots of them. Then I drove home and started packing. Not my stuff. Hers. Every designer handbag, every pair of shoes that cost more than my monthly truck payment, every piece of jewelry I'd bought her over the years. Into garbage bags it went. I worked methodically, room by room, like I was gutting a house down to the studs. Her sister Monica showed up Sunday afternoon, letting herself in with the spare key Sarah had given her. "Where's Sarah?" Monica demanded, surveying the chaos. Monica was Sarah's younger sister and biggest enabler, the one who'd probably helped plan this whole affair. "Chicago," I said, tying off another bag. Living her best single life. "What the hell are you doing?" "Spring cleaning." I hefted 2 bags toward the front door. "Help me carry these to the curb, would you?" Monica's face went red. "You can't just throw her stuff out. This is her house, too." "Actually, it's not." I pulled out the deed from my toolbox. "House is in my name. I bought it before we married. Sarah's name was never added." That shut her up for about 10 seconds. "She'll sue you for everything," Monica shrieked. "With what money? I closed our joint accounts yesterday. Turns out when your spouse commits adultery, you get to protect marital assets." I'd spent Saturday night researching divorce law instead of sleeping. Monica called Sarah, screaming into the phone about me losing my mind. I could hear Sarah's panicked voice through the speaker, but I kept working. By Sunday evening, 17 bags lined our curb like the world's most expensive garage sale. I changed the locks, then posted a photo on Instagram with the caption, "Single looks good. Here's your stuff." I tagged Sarah and Tyler. The post went viral in our small town within hours. Sarah's BMW screeched into the driveway at 9:30 p.m. I watched through the window as she stood on the curb, staring at her belongings scattered across the sidewalk. Neighbors had gathered. Mrs. Peterson from next door, the Johnson family, even old Mr. Garrett, who never left his house. Sarah pounded on the front door. "Dave, open this door right now." I cracked it open, keeping the chain lock engaged. "Hey, babe, how was Chicago? Tyler treat you well?" Her face went white. "We need to talk." "We are talking. Through lawyers, starting tomorrow." "You don't understand." "I understand perfectly. You wanted single life. Congratulations, you got it." She tried pushing against the door. "This is insane. You can't lock me out of my own house." "Check the deed, sweetheart. Your sister can explain property law." That's when Tyler's Tesla pulled up. He climbed out wearing gym shorts and a tank top, looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. "Dave, man, let's be reasonable," he started. I stepped outside, closing the door behind me. Tyler was taller than me, but I'd been swinging hammers and lifting drywall for 20 years. Plus, I boxed at Murphy's gym 3 nights a week. Tyler looked like he'd never been in a real fight in his life. Or reasonable, I stepped closer. Like sneaking around with my wife for 3 months? That kind of reasonable? Tyler backed up. Look, it just happened. It just happened? Your dick just accidentally fell into my wife? The neighbors were really enjoying the show now. Mrs. Peterson had her phone out, probably live streaming to the neighborhood Facebook group. Sarah grabbed Tyler's arm. Let's just go. We'll figure this out tomorrow. But I wasn't done. Tyler, buddy, you might want to check your Instagram and your sponsorship contracts. His face went pale. What did you do? Nothing yet. But those fitness companies you represent, they have morality clauses. Might be interested to know their brand ambassador likes breaking up marriages. Sarah was crying now, mascara streaming down her cheeks. Dave, please, we can work this out. It was a mistake. The only mistake was me trusting you. I looked at Tyler. Take her to your place. She's your problem now. They left with whatever bags Sarah could carry. The rest sat on the curb all night like a monument to our failed marriage. Monday morning brought the fallout. Sarah's best friend Jessica called me screaming. You humiliated her in front of the whole neighborhood. She humiliated herself. I just provided the stage lighting. You're being cruel. I'm being honest. There's a difference. Jessica had been Sarah's maid of honor, her partner in crime for years. I'd always suspected she knew about the affair. Did you know? I asked. Silence. Jessica, did you know about Tyler? She was unhappy, Dave. You two hadn't been connecting. I hung up. By Tuesday, the whole story had spread through town like wildfire. Sarah worked at Prestige Realty, the biggest firm in our area. Her boss, Richard Henley, called me personally. Dave, I'm sorry about what happened. Sarah's a good agent, but this situation, it's affecting the office. How so? Clients are asking questions. Social media is brutal. That photo of her stuff on the curb has been shared 300 times. I almost felt bad. Almost. Wednesday brought the lawyers. Sarah hired Jennifer Walsh, the most expensive divorce attorney in the county. I went with Tom Murphy, a scrappy guy who'd handled my business and corporation. She wants half of everything, Tom told me over coffee. House, business, retirement accounts. What's she entitled to? Honestly, not much. House is yours, business predates the marriage, and you've got solid evidence of adultery. But she'll fight dirty. He was right. Thursday morning, 2 police officers showed up at my job site. Mr. Dave Wilson, we need to talk about a domestic violence complaint. My blood ran cold. What complaint? Your wife says you threatened her and her boyfriend, destroyed her property. I showed them the photos from my phone. Sarah's stuff neatly bagged, no damage. The Instagram post. The property deed. She's lying, I said. Check with the neighbors. They saw everything. The cops talked to Mrs. Peterson, who confirmed my story. They left without charges, but the message was clear. Sarah was playing for keeps. That night, Jessica called again. You need to stop this, Dave. Sarah's falling apart. Good. Maybe she'll remember what she threw away. She made a mistake, but you're destroying her life. She destroyed our marriage. I'm just returning the favor. The whole town is talking about her. She can't show her face anywhere. Then maybe she should have thought about that before she started screwing Tyler in hotel rooms. Jessica's voice turned cold. You're not the man I thought you were. You're right. I'm better. Friday brought the nuclear option. I'd been saving it, waiting for the right moment. Sarah and Tyler had been staying at his apartment downtown, but they'd started showing up places together, the grocery store, restaurants, even our kids' school events, playing happy couple while our divorce was still pending. I decided to attend the PTA meeting at Jefferson Elementary, where Sarah volunteered. She'd been treasurer for 3 years, practically ran the fundraising committee. I walked in just as she was giving her monthly report, Tyler sitting in the front row like a supportive boyfriend. The room went quiet when they saw me. And, Dave? Principal Martinez looked surprised. We weren't expecting you. Wouldn't miss it. My wife's doing such important work here. Sarah's face went red, but she continued her presentation about the Spring Carnival fundraiser. When she finished, I stood up. I have a question about the budget. Dave, please, Sarah started. No, I'm curious. You're raising money for new playground equipment, right? About $15,000? That's correct, Principal Martinez said. Interesting. That's about what Sarah spent on her Chicago hotel this weekend. The Ritz-Carlton, right, honey? Room service, spa treatments, champagne for two? The room erupted in whispers. Sarah looked like she wanted to disappear. I have the receipts, I continued, pulling out my phone. Joint credit card. Thought the PTA might be interested in where their treasurer's priorities lie. Tyler stood up. That's enough, man. Is it? Because I'm just getting started. I turned to the crowd. See, my wife's been having an affair with this gentleman for months. While volunteering here, planning fundraisers, she was planning weekend getaways with her boyfriend. Principal Martinez tried to restore order, but the damage was done. By morning, every parent in the district would know the story. Sarah quit the PTA that night. The following week, Tyler's sponsorship deals started disappearing. Apparently, fitness companies don't like their representatives associated with adultery scandals. His Instagram followers dropped by thousands. Sarah got fired from Prestige Realty. Image issues, Richard told me when he called to explain. Too much drama for our brand. I should have felt satisfied. Instead, I felt empty. That's when Jessica showed up at my house, angrier than I'd ever seen her. You've destroyed 2 people's lives, she screamed. Are you happy now? They destroyed their own lives. I just held up a mirror. Sarah's broke. Tyler lost his apartment. They're staying in some motel. Not my problem. Jessica's eyes narrowed. You want to know the truth? Sarah never loved Tyler. She was trying to make you jealous, get your attention. You'd been ignoring her for months, buried in your work projects. So it's my fault she cheated? It's your fault she felt invisible? Something in her voice made me pause. How do you know what Sarah was thinking? Jessica looked away. She told me. When? When I suggested she make you jealous. The truth hit me like a sledgehammer. You set this up. No, she was so unhappy, Dave. You never talked to her anymore, never took her anywhere. I told her to flirt a little, make you realize what you had. You told her to have an affair? I told her to get your attention. Tyler was supposed to be harmless flirting. It wasn't supposed to go this far. I stared at Jessica, seeing her clearly for the first time. Sarah's manipulative best friend, the one who'd always stirred up drama, who thrived on other people's chaos. Get out, I said quietly. Dave, get out. She left, but the damage was done. I spent the night drinking and thinking about everything that had happened, about how Jessica had orchestrated the whole thing for her own entertainment. The next morning, I made a decision. I called Tyler. We need to talk. I don't think that's a good idea, man. Murphy's gym, tonight at 8. Come alone. He showed up looking nervous. The gym was nearly empty, just a few guys lifting weights in the back. Oh, look, Dave, I'm sorry about everything. I held up my hand. Save it. I know about Jessica. Tyler's face went pale. What about Jessica? She told me last night how she set the whole thing up, got Sarah to make me jealous. Tyler sat down heavily on a bench. She didn't tell you everything. What do you mean? Jessica and we've been hooking up for months. Before Sarah, during Sarah, she's been playing all of us. The room spun. What? She wanted to break you and Sarah up, said Sarah didn't deserve you, that she could make you happier. The whole Tyler thing was her idea. Get Sarah out of the picture so she could move in. I felt sick. You're lying. Tyler pulled out his phone, showed me text messages. Jessica planning the affair, encouraging Tyler to pursue Sarah, promising him money and connections if he played along. She's been using all of us, man. Sarah thinks she's in love with me, but I was just Jessica's puppet, and now we're all screwed. I left the gym in a daze. Everything I thought I knew was wrong. Sarah hadn't betrayed me for love. She'd been manipulated by her best friend. Tyler wasn't some smooth operator. He was another victim. And Jessica? Jessica had orchestrated the destruction of my marriage for her own sick games. I drove to Jessica's apartment and pounded on the door. She opened it wearing a robe, smiling. Dave, I was hoping you'd come by. You destroyed my marriage. Her smile faltered. What are you talking about? Tyler told me everything. The texts, the plan, all of it. Jessica's mask slipped. Tyler's a liar. Show me your phone. Excuse me? Your phone. Show me your text with Tyler. She backed away. I don't have to show you anything. I pushed past her into the apartment. Where is it? Get out. I'll call the police. Call them. I'll wait. I sat down on her couch. We can all read your messages together. Jessica's face crumpled. You don't understand. Sarah was wrong for you. She didn't appreciate you like I do. So you destroyed our marriage. I freed you. She was going to leave you eventually anyway. I just sped up the process. The The casual cruelty in her voice made my blood boil. You manipulated my wife into having an affair. I showed her what she really wanted. Deep down, Sarah wanted out. I just gave her permission. I stood up. You're sick. I'm in love with you, Jessica screamed. I have been for years, watching you waste your life on someone who didn't deserve you. I walked toward the door. Stay away from me. Stay away from Sarah. Stay away from all of us. You'll be back, Jessica called after me. When you realize Sarah will never forgive you for what you've done, you'll come back to me. I drove straight to the motel where Sarah and Tyler were staying. Room 237 at the Budget Inn, a far cry from the Ritz-Carlton. Sarah answered the door in sweatpants and a stained t-shirt. She looked terrible. No makeup, hair unwashed, eyes red from crying. Dave, what are you doing here? We need to talk about Jessica. Sarah's face went white. What about her? She played us. All of us. I told her everything Tyler had revealed, showed her screenshots of Jessica's messages that Tyler had forwarded to me, watched Sarah's face crumble as she realized the truth. She said you didn't love me anymore, Sarah whispered. Said you were planning to leave me anyway, that Tyler was my chance to be happy before you destroyed me in the divorce. I never planned to leave you. But you were so distant, working all the time, never talking to me. I was building us a life. The house, the business, everything was for you. We sat in that crappy motel room and talked for hours, about Jessica's manipulation, about our marriage, about the mistakes we'd both made. I don't know if we can fix this, Sarah said finally. I don't either. But I know Jessica can't win. We looked at each other, and for the first time in months, we were on the same side. The plan came together over the next week. Sarah moved back home, not to reconcile, but to present a united front. Tyler, disgusted by Jessica's manipulation, agreed to help. Jessica had been telling everyone that Sarah and I were finished, that she was supporting me through the divorce. She'd even started showing up at places she knew I'd be, playing the concerned friend. Friday night, she appeared at Murphy's gym during my usual workout. Dave, I've been so worried about you, she said, loud enough for everyone to hear. This whole situation with Sarah must be devastating. I played along. It's been rough. Thanks for being such a good friend. I'm here for whatever you need, anything at all. Actually, there is something. Can you help me move some stuff tomorrow? Sarah's taking more of her things. Jessica's eyes lit up. Of course, I'll bring my car. Saturday morning, Jessica showed up at my house with a U-Haul trailer. She'd dressed up, full makeup, tight jeans, clearly expecting something more than moving boxes. Where's Sarah? She asked, looking around. She'll be here soon. Come on in. I led her to the living room, where Tyler was waiting with a laptop. What's he doing here? Jessica's voice turned sharp. Helping with the presentation, I said. What presentation? Sarah walked in from the kitchen, carrying a folder. Jessica's face went through several emotions, confusion, fear, anger. Hello, Jessica, Sarah said calmly. We need to talk. About what? Tyler turned the laptop around, showing Jessica's text messages on the screen. All of them. The planning, the manipulation, the cruel comments about Sarah and me. About how you destroyed my marriage for fun, Sarah said. Jessica looked trapped. Those are private messages. Not anymore, I said. Tyler forwarded them to me. Amazing what people will do when they realize they've been used. You can't prove anything. Sarah opened the folder, pulled out printed screenshots. Actually, we can. Your messages to Tyler about breaking us up. Your messages to me about Dave planning to leave. Your messages to Dave about me being unfaithful. You played all sides. Jessica's mask finally slipped completely. So what? Your marriage was a joke anyway. I did you both a favor. By lying to us? By showing you the truth. You were miserable together. We were working through problems, Sarah said, like married couples do. You were settling, both of you. I pulled out my phone. This conversation is being recorded, by the way, for the restraining order. Jessica lunged for the phone, but Tyler caught her arm. Don't make this worse. Worse? You've all lost your minds. Dave, you can't seriously want her back after what she did. What she did? I laughed. You mean what you made her do? I didn't make her do anything. She wanted Tyler. She wanted out. She wanted her best friend to support her marriage, not destroy it, Sarah said quietly. I trusted you. Jessica's face twisted with rage. You never deserved him. You took him for granted. I would have appreciated him. By lying and manipulating? By loving him. The room fell silent. Jessica realized what she'd admitted. Get out, I said. Dave, Get out of my house. Stay away from my family. If I see you near us again, I'll file harassment charges. Jessica looked around the room, seeing no allies. You'll regret this, all of you. When your perfect little reconciliation falls apart, don't come crying to me. She stormed out, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the windows. Tyler left soon after, apologizing again for his part in everything. He was moving back to California, starting over. Sarah and I stood in our living room, surrounded by the wreckage of our marriage. Now what? She asked. Now we figure out if there's anything left to save. It took months of counseling, brutal honesty, and hard work. Some days we made progress. Other days we could barely stand to be in the same room. But we learned to talk to each other again. Really talk. Not just exchange logistics about bills and schedules. 6 months later, Sarah got a job at a smaller realty firm. I finished the kitchen renovation. We started dating each other again. Awkward at first, like teenagers who didn't know the rules. Jessica tried reaching out a few times, but we blocked her number. She moved away eventually, chasing some new drama in another town. The divorce papers were never filed. 1 year after that terrible night when I found Sarah's belongings on our curb, we renewed our vows in our backyard. Just us, the pastor, and Mrs. Peterson as a witness. Think we'll make it this time? Sarah asked as we danced to music from my phone. Ask me in another 12 years, I said. She laughed, and for the first time in forever, it felt like we might actually be okay. Sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying your enemies, it's refusing to let them destroy you. The end. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next story. Write in the comments from which city you are watching.